Hey guys, okay, so we have the Merryway unit in. There was a lot of trial and error getting the right unit, but I finally got one back from Merryway. This is for the capacitative, or capacitive, whatever, touchscreen. I thought I had a resistive touchscreen, that turned out to be wrong. So the harness is different on the capacitive touchscreen as it is the resistive one. And so are the main boards. So it's not really just the harness that's different, it's also the main board. So, I released a teaser shot. I already had this unit installed. The only thing, but I just pulled it out for you guys. The only thing that I have done that I'm not going to show you is this is an audio out cable from the Android head unit. I simply took off the knee trim that runs along the center console and ran the wire into the center console armrest and plugged it into the accessory 3.5 millimeter in. So that way, if I choose, I can change the accessory to the Android head unit and play audio out of the Android head unit. I will say the audio quality is not good, so I'm actually not really gonna do that, but I'll get into that, when I show the usage video. This is just an install video. So we have a lot of wires here. As you can see, we got some connectors. We got a USB. We got some video inputs, audio in as well. A bunch of wires. We have some random, pin style connectors. In addition, we have this connector, which was shipped with the unit, and we have this connector, and this is for the backup camera. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start plugging it in. With the main connections here, you have the 3 color guys, the gray one, that is the main power, and then you have the optical connection, and I'm not really sure what that does. And this connection right here, this is the connection for the touch buttons, the physical buttons that we won't be needing anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of prep up the accessory buttons first. So we're going to take this connector where the physical buttons are, and we're going to plug this harness into it, just like so. Now this actually does not go anywhere, so you don't need to plug this in. This orange button, this is the control button from the Merryway unit. So if you look on your harness, you'll see that there is a single orange wire with a single pin connector. You're just going to take your orange connector from the physical buttons, make sure you're on the right pin, so both the pins are making contact. Then we're just going to go in like that. So this facilitates the mode button and the touch buttons on the steering wheel, as well as whatever. It makes the buttons work, basically. The next one we're going to do is the video out for the backup camera. So the way this works is you sort of intercept the signal from the backup camera. So you just want to plug it into your magenta looking dude, and then you're going to find the audio or video in on the Merryway head unit. So we have 2 video outs, which remain unused, and then you have 2 video ins. Now it's important that you connect it to the right one. When I had connected this up the other day, I accidentally, I guess, put it in the wrong video input. So what that meant was the reverse camera would work only if I was in park. And then when I put it in reverse, it said no signal. So I'm pretty sure I just had it plugged into the wrong input. There's 2 video inputs here. The other end of this, now that you have a little, chain going on, that actually ends up going in the back here, back into the original magenta slot. So right there. Yeah. Alright, so now we're going to plug in the main power, which is really the main part of the harness. So it's a pretty long one. So you're going to find your gray main power cable, and you're going to plug that up. And so now that you have that plugged in, now this part goes into the back of the head unit. So we're just going to Move all these cables out of the way and plug that in. Keep in mind, guys, your battery should definitely be unplugged while you're doing this. Do not do this with the battery on, because you will probably fry the board, and that is no good. Okay, so we've got the touch buttons situated. We got the video out to the Android part situated. So now we're going to go ahead and start plugging everything else in. It might be hard to show you this, but basically we're just going to go ahead and plug in things back, you know, as they were from the factory. So nothing too fancy there. So put the cables back here. Start by putting in the black optical cable. Just snaps right in there. The blue cable. And we will do the, this gets a little tricky. Pink, brown, and the other end of that video out, we're going to plug into the magenta one. That's the intercepted signal. So that should actually be it. I believe. Sure. Yep. Alright, so just gonna put this back in there. And just going to put it back. Alright, so as you can see, super easy install. Really was not hard at all. You just need to make sure, you know, a lot of time went into figuring out what connection goes where, but that seems to be it. Just gonna put our screws back in here. Okay, we're gonna put the trim back in. And we're done. Alright, let's go put the power back on in the car. Go hook the battery back up now.